Today we're going to talk about subtracting fractions. And the first thing to keep in mind when you're subtracting fractions is you always have to have a common denominator. In this problem, we're going to do 4/5 minus 1/5. You can see we have 4/5 of a circle. If we subtract 1/5 away from that, we're left with 3/5. 4/5 minus 1/5 is 3/5. The next problem we're going to look at, we have 3/4 minus 1/3. Now I can't just take a third away from here because I have 3/4. So we have to find a common denominator. And the way that you do that is you take your two denominators, 3 and 4, and you list the multiples. 3, 6, 9, 12. We can list the multiples of 4 are 4, 8, and 12. The first one that you find in common, the smallest one, is the least common multiple. And that's also going to be our least common denominator. So we're going to rewrite equivalent fractions with a common denominator. 3/4 is equal to 9/12. 1/3 is equal to 4/12. Now we have two fractions with common denominators. 9/12 minus 4/12 is 5/12. The next problem we're going to look at, we have mixed numbers. 3 1/4 minus 1 2/4. Now up here I have 3 1/4, but I can't take 2/4 away from it because I only have 1/4 up here. So now we're going to borrow 1 from the 3 and we're going to make it a 2. So I'm going to take one of my circles away, and the one that I borrow I'm going to rename as 4/4. I'm going to write the one that I borrow as a fraction. It's going to have the denominator we're looking for. So now you can see I still have 3 1/4, but I took one of my circles and I divided it into fourths. So the one that I borrowed, I wrote as 4/4. So now I have the 4/4 that I just renamed, the 1/4 that I already had, and that equals 5/4. So you can see I have 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/4. 5/4 minus 2/4 is 3/4. 2 minus 1 is 1. So our answer is 1 3/4. Okay, and to look at that up here, I want to subtract 1 2/4. So I'm going to take one of my whole circles away, and I'm going to take 2/4 away, and I'm left with 1 3/4. Remember, you must have a common denominator before you can add or subtract fractions. Always simplify your answer after you subtract, reduce it to lowest terms, and be sure your answer makes sense.